we are going into the holiday season. We thought it would be a perfect time to start going into some things that are holiday related. And today's episode is about the realistic or unrealistic expectations that we put on the holidays.
Surely we don't have any bad things that happen during the holidays, right?
Holidays are rainbows and butterflies.
So I say high expectations, but we're talking about real expectations. But I think the high expectations is kind of what can flow in and suck the joy out of the holidays, right?
Yeah, especially I think women probably feel this. You tell me if I'm wrong, but women feel this a little bit more because maybe we have like a Hallmark movie kind of syndrome going on.
Well, that's probably because you binge Hallmark movies all the time during the holidays.
It could be because I binge Hallmark movies all the time during
Now, I laugh
the
because
holidays.
I enjoy a good Hallmark movie too. So.
And really, Hallmark movies are so filled with conflict. But for
That is
some
true.
reason, in our head, we have this expectation of what we want the holidays to look like. Or maybe we're trying to recreate something that we had from our childhood for our kids. And that's just not the case when you're in a blended family. It's just not that easy. Or maybe you didn't have that during the holidays for your family. And so you're wanting that to be a positive memories that they have. But yet there's just so many different factors that go into it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Barbie doll tragedy, right? To where the Barbie doll comes
no idea
out.
where you're going with this. No idea.
It started off so good, but no, you know how it was the big controversy of the Barbie doll, and then all the women had these expectations of this is how a woman should look.
Oh, like the ideal figure.
Right, so the ideal figure and the ideal everything, and then you find most women are beating themselves up because they can't be this. Then all the ones that are trying to keep it, and there's just all this added pressure that comes to it. And I think we can have that Barbie doll syndrome with our families. We can have this leave it to Beaver or Brady Bunch mentality when really that's not reality, right?
Yeah, and I didn't really realize that I wasn't alone in this. I wrote a blog post a while back, and it was one of the most well-received blog posts of ladies saying me too, and a lot of them coming from blended families, but they weren't all blended families. Just as a culture, we try to cram so much into so little time that we don't actually take the time to enjoy the holiday. And then when you throw in the blended family mix on top of that, and so you're trying to, like, you have half the time sometimes to put all the things you want to do for your family in this short period of time. And then there's the back and forth with the kids. And then you come after the holiday, like maybe, let's say, because I have like a little blues, which I was listening to something. It's actually like
The holiday blues.
there's like a statistic. It's called like Blue Monday or something. The Monday after Christmas. Did you ever know that was a thing?
The Monday after Christmas?
The Monday after Christmas.
No, I thought you were going Blues Clues. I was saying Blues Clues, Blues Clues. No, that's kind of that's where my mind went.
No.
So there's Monday Blues.
Monday blues is a real deal that comes like
I've
the
always
Monday-
heard that as far as, just Monday Blues being period. After a weekend, then, Monday you're having to go do a job you don't like or whatnot. And it's always, I just want to live for the weekend type mentality.
No, I mean, like, there's a thing. I didn't look into it. I was listening to an audiobook and she said that. And I was like, But it's like this down, like almost a depression on the Monday after Christmas. And I feel like that usually the day after Christmas is because I had so many expectations for what it was going to be. And then Christmas comes and then it's over. And if I miss the mark, or my kids miss the mark, or you miss the mark, but you give really good Christmas gifts to me. So not in that.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes. It's a really good gift
that's so
giver.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Not that it's about the gift, but you're just really good at it.
Oh, well.
But it's just like then that day is over, and I feel like I have to wait all the way till the following year to get a do-over, and then next year I'm going to do it right, but then I fall into the same trap.
Yeah. And it's a trap. We can set these expectations up in our... I kind of look at it through a financial standpoint, right? So it's like you're trying to you have the real expectation, which is made up of factors that we can control and factors we can't control, and then that gives you the real expectation. So do you know where I'm going with that? So like,
how does that have to do with finances?
well, whenever I say that, I'm thinking of like the real interest rate, and that is taking your nominal interest rate minus inflation to get the real. But that's kind of like what we're doing with.
But nobody knows what you're talking about. Nobody. Do you know what he's talking about? Because I don't know what he's talking about.
I'm just saying that there are factors just out of our control with the holidays, and that ruins what we can control. Sometimes it ruins that, and then we get the real thing, which leaves us sad and depressed because it didn't turn out like we wanted it to.
Okay, I got you. Yes, like
see how I weaved all that back in.
So you're talking about like when I'm like envisioning that me and the kids are going to make sugar cookies, and in the process of making the dough and cutting it with the cookie cutters and doing the really cute thing that everybody's doing right now, that when the youngest being like 17, I think, when this happened, so not youngest like a 3-year-old that would be expected, balls it all up and throws some icing on it and says, "Here's my cookie." That.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And then you're super sad, and because that's not what you had envisioned. And I think as parents we do that. That is just a natural thing that we can let steal the joy from us during the holidays. We kind of set these expectations, how we want Christmas to look like, how we want Thanksgiving to look like, all these holidays that come up, Halloween, and it just never pans out because we don't have sole control. Every person in our family has choices, and as a blended family, then you've got external influences as well, ex-spouses and things that have choices, and all those choices, we can let it rob the joy from us in these holidays. So we walk around not just with Monday blues, but it's holiday blues.
Yeah. Wanting something that we can't actually obtain.
Yes.
One thing when you were thinking, like after I said the little cookie analogy, and maybe I'm alone here, but please somebody out there message me and tell me I'm not alone, because I'm going to confess something that is a little bit like, I don't know if I should confess it, but
I'm intrigued.
Like in the moment,
as we all lean in,
the society that we live in with social media the way it is, that in my head when I'm planning the stuff, like I can already see the social media posts that I'm going to make afterwards.
Okay. So you're setting it up for your feed and what it's going to look like and what you want it to look like. Yeah, and not
necessarily like for it to like look all like aesthetically pleasing, but like to be able to capture those moments and then show that this is what my family did today. And not that I want someone else to be jealous, because when I'm saying this, that's what it sounds like. Like, why are you trying to make other people jealous? It's just like I don't know, proving myself or my worth. Like, that's probably too deep for this.
That's pretty deep. That is like, wow, that's some insecurities.
Yeah, like I almost teared up. Like, I don't know if you can see it. I was like, don't look directly in his eyes, because then I'm going to start crying. But like just the reality of like wanting not even just for your family's happiness, but like so that other people think your family is happy. So
it's almost like that expectation of you want everyone to think you got it all together.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sure no one else out here listening to this ever feels that way. So that, you've got to be the only one.
I need to go back to therapy.
That does that. It is, that is a normal thing. And even as guys, we can do that. I don't think we do it to the level of, as maybe the all the wives out there. But, we definitely do that too. But it's a natural thing. You want your family to do well. You want your family to be happy. You want that joy. And, I think that's the heart of it. And whenever it's not, it will steal the happiness from the holidays, to where now, instead of looking forward to that Christmas morning or Thanksgiving when your family is all together, now you're sitting there dreading it, or you're just sad and feeling kind of left out or isolated or whatnot because it didn't hit this mark. And I think that is definitely our culture in where we're at in a society that we have such high goals and expectations. And so how do we get over that? What are some of the things that we have done?
Yeah, I think acknowledging it first is probably key. Because I remember, like, when I wrote that blog post, the thing that had stirred all of that up is because we had a Thanksgiving planned, and I wanted the kids to be here, and they didn't show up on time. And, like, I had this envision of what I was already going to post for the blog post and how, I just made it work, like, in our family. And then it didn't, and I had no pictures to show from, and the ones I did have were like really crappy, like everybody was on their phone. And I was just sitting there. I remember sitting there in that moment on my phone, and the kids were on their phone thinking, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. And so when I wrote about the fact that what I envisioned, like those high expectations, were stealing that joy from me because I had such high expectations, it resonated with people. But that was me. I think that was step one, is acknowledging, like, what am I doing? Like, the kids didn't even know like what I was expecting because I didn't tell them what I wanted. I didn't ask them what they wanted. We were kind of just going through the motions, I guess. Yeah. So I think that next year going into it was one of the biggest, so first, like, acknowledging the fact that it's not going to be the way that you think it should be, but that you do have some power to create what you want to create. But knowing that maybe not everybody's going to participate, or planning things that you will enjoy, or if it's you and your spouse are on the same page with that, but maybe your kids aren't necessarily participating, or when they're younger, they probably are. But you do get to create what that is, and don't create it based on what you feel like everybody else wants. But then the next thing I think was really the thing that started turning things around was messaging the kids and asking them or talking to them about the holiday. Like, what do you love about the holiday? What do you wish we would do more of? What do you not care about? And then when they told me and gave me their ideas, I started planning things ahead of time and giving them a date. And then if they showed up, yay, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. But if they didn't show up, then I was enjoying that anyways. Or I found someone to enjoy it with. Like, if the kids weren't coming and doing that thing, I'm thinking like the gingerbread houses one time, and I had my friend come over and do it with us. Like, planning it in a way that you're going to have that joy regardless of who shows up.
Right. Yeah, and that's good. And I think that's really what caused that shift. We still have that desire, and especially as living in a Western culture mentality, we're always on the go. We've always got so many things that we're trying to do and trying to accomplish. It's hard to slow down during the holidays. And so that does leave us trying to get a lot more done in a short amount of time, and which can set us up for failure. So it is being able to recognize, hey, it's not going to be perfect. We're not perfect because, for one, we're human beings.
Yeah.
And for two, there's just factors outside of our control, and we have to be able to recognize that. Because if we don't, we set these expectations, we're setting ourselves up for failure, we won't hit it, then joy's stolen from us and it ruins the holiday. So once we're able to recognize, hey, things aren't going to be perfect, it's cool, I'm just going to go with it. So now that gives you the ability to be more flexible.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say next, is the flexibility that, and that's what, like, the counselor had taught me. Like, if you can be flexible, be flexible.
Yeah.
So say you plan something for your family and everybody acts like they're on board, but then one of them can't come. Well, in that instance, you're not going to change the whole date and change the whole plan to fit around that one child. Go along and keep moving forward. But if it's something that you can be flexible in, so maybe I did plan just for instance, like you're planning a gingerbread making night, whatever, with your family, or maybe one of your kids in particular, because that's what she said she was into.
We'll be right back. Check this out. Blended families can be hard at times, can't they? Have you ever said, I don't feel like me and my spouse are connecting? Or I'm bending over backwards and my stepkid still pushes me away? Or do you feel like your family's doing okay, but you'd like it to be more than okay? You want your family to level up, take it to an even stronger level.
The truth is, we're all looking for more joy and happiness in our lives. So how do we start seeing that in our blended family? Because really, our family is the first place we should truly be enjoying and having the most fun with. So how do you enjoy your blended family? You create more fun opportunities that your family loves doing. These are big things, they're small things, things that cost money, things that don't cost money. But the more fun you have together, the less blended family drama you'll have, which equals more joy and happiness for everyone. Now, you may be saying, yeah, but I don't know how to do that. I don't even know where to start. That's okay. We walk you through 5 fun dates you get to have with your family. These dates help you discover those fun things your family loves doing. You'll walk away with so many more great ideas and have an amazing, easy plan to make it happen and to keep it going. Plus, you get to have a lot of fun discovering all this in the process. We walk you through everything and make it really fun and easy.
So how do you enjoy your blended family? By going on these 5 dates and discovering fun in your stepfamily. You'll be so glad you did. Have more fun together and you'll see less problems. The link to get started on this amazing journey is in the show notes of this episode.
And then it turns out that she got a better offer somewhere else, or she didn't show up one time. And this is true story stuff that I'm not even going to tell you actually the true story, because out of respect for her, maybe, I don't know. You know the true story, right?
Yeah, it's definitely respect out of her.
Maybe in a private episode somewhere one day, or maybe when she's on. Maybe I can interview her, and her and I can talk about it when it's okay. But just knowing, like, okay, if they're not going to show up on the day, something happened, they didn't come home when they were supposed to, shifting it and doing it the next day, like not forcing it, like, well, this is what I was going to do, and my whole thing was planned to do with her, and if she doesn't show up, not having to still do it right then, but being willing to wait until the next day and be flexible with that time.
Well, that's so key to blended families, is just being flexible during the holidays. So with all the outside influences that we do have, the more we relax and sit back, the more we can enjoy it. And we know when things don't happen the way we would like, then we're okay and we keep moving and things are going to be all right. It's still going to be a great holiday. You're going to spend time with those who are right there with you in that time, in that moment, and it's going to be great. So yeah, just being able to be flexible. And then too, you had brought up that asking them. And this was huge because we can add so many things to the holidays that it becomes so overloaded, so overstressed, that you're trying to do all of this in a short amount of time. No one has fun. And it robs that joy out of us in that case too. So whenever we took this approach of saying, okay, take Christmas for instance, what's your favorite thing about Christmas? You know, besides the presents and all that, you know, what's your favorite thing to do? You know, and one would be, you know, going and looking at Christmas lights. We really like doing
all
that.
of our kids said that. We love going to look at Christmas lights.
Yeah, and so whenever you pull one thing that they totally enjoy, and however many kids you have, that's how, you know, you go and ask each one, and then you ask each other that, you know, what's your fondest memory? And it might be, well, whenever I make this food, or, you know, or whatever. Yeah. Maybe it's a food item that just, you know, really sticks with you because that reminds you of growing up or something like that. But you take each one of your family members and you take that one thing that reminds them of that holiday or that they thoroughly enjoy, and you make sure you at least do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, make
time for that.
That's a powerful thing. And then everything else can go to the wayside if it has to, but you at least try to accomplish those things because that's what really matters. Sometimes I think we have those expectations of we think they want this, and so we try to overachieve.
Yeah, like when you were saying that about the food, it reminded me just like at Thanksgiving time, like if you're the one, like you're throwing Thanksgiving at your house and you're making all the food, like even say just for your family, you're not having a lot of people over. And these are just traditional Thanksgiving meals that you think of when you think of Thanksgiving. And so you go and you're busting your butt to cook all of these things, and then nobody eats that one dish, whatever. And then you're like, why didn't anybody eat it? Like, the time and energy and money that went into making it, and nobody actually likes it. You just make it because that's what is traditionally made on Thanksgiving. It's kind of like with the cranberry, but I think
nobody ever eats the cranberries.
I
always throw them away.
But somebody in our family likes the cranberry because I didn't have it one year.
Yeah, no, yeah. Riley likes the cranberry. I do. I'll eat them if they're there. But yeah, so there are certain staples that you might like or you might want, and that's kind of the cool thing. I remember the one Thanksgiving that we had the whole Thanksgiving meal, and we forgot the deviled eggs. It was like, oh no, I thought you were making them. No, I thought you were making them, and we had a Thanksgiving without deviled eggs.
That was the one Thanksgiving that I'm referring to that I was sitting there like in my sorrows. And one of the things is I was going to be so intentional about it that I made a whole. I was actually trying to trickery. I was trying to manipulate the family to want to be there and be there on time.
Because she has no issues. We're perfect.
Yeah. I say it a lot now, like, because when I realized a lot of the things I was doing was manipulation in a way, like, and not in a horrible way, but I would do things to try to coerce them to do what I thought they should do. So this particular Thanksgiving that I had wrote the blog post and everything, I had made out a menu and I probably heard this on somewhere else and they gave me the idea, but I assigned everyone a job on what they were going to cook. And so I was going to divvy out these jobs, and I divvied out some jobs. And so some things I forgot about, like the deviled eggs. And so nobody got deviled eggs. And then some of the things I forgot to tell those people they were in charge of it. And so it didn't happen. And then others that I did tell, but they just didn't really take it serious because they'd never had to do anything like that before. So they didn't show up for 3 hours after Thanksgiving. And so I just had to make those things myself, or it just went without. So just...
It was a learning process, right?
It was. That Thanksgiving taught me a lot about enjoying the moment and enjoying the holidays, and really made me start questioning it, which has brought me to the point where I'm trying to be very intentional with those holidays now. And that's what brought me to the point of trying to take things out. Like, you don't have to do everything. Like, nobody... Especially when you ask your kids these questions, what do you actually like? And you realize that nobody wants to make the gingerbread house. Don't make the gingerbread house.
It's not that important.
No, there's no reason to do that. Like, or whatever it is that you do in your family that you think, okay, everybody likes this. And if they don't, then don't. I mean, there was, I think, a couple years that we just cut out Christmas cards, which was a big deal for me. I love Christmas cards, but I couldn't even get our family in the same spot long enough for all of us getting along to take a Christmas picture. And then it ate away at me. And I finally said, you know what? Who cares about?
Yeah, no one else cares.
No one else cares. Or even the Christmas tree. No one else cares to go pick out a real Christmas tree, then I'm just going to put the fake one up. And you know what's funny? As soon as you do that, all of these things that we're talking about today, as soon as you lower those expectations and you start being more intentional and you plan things, cut things out, they all start coming out the woodwork, wanting to join in. That one Christmas, I pulled out the Christmas tree. I think it was last year. I had been trying to get my entire family to put ornaments on a Christmas tree for 10 years. I have boxes with their personal ornaments in them. And in my head, we have, and I try, no, I guess I can't say her name, but the Christmas music's going in the background. We're all drinking our hot chocolate and circling around the Christmas tree, putting our own personal ornaments and reminiscing about the time we got that ornament. And nobody would ever enjoy the freaking moment with me. And then last year, as soon as I've it's okay, I'm just going to do it myself. They seriously started coming out, like showing up. I didn't invite them. They just showing up and they're like, hey, where's the Christmas tree? And I was like, oh, it's upstairs. I was fixing to do it. Oh, well, let's start putting it together now. And they're just like throwing it together. I'm like, whoa, hold up. Like, what's happening? I need a Christmas hat on.
Where's my hot chocolate?
Where's my hot chocolate? Wait.
But it is powerful. And I think that's what we learned as well, kind of through our whole blended family seasons, is that whenever we have high expectations, we can push our family away. When we have the lower expectations, and I don't, when I say lower expectations, I don't mean that you don't have any, right? Yeah. I just mean that you're going to enjoy the moments.
They're more intentional.
Whether everybody's here, everybody's not. You're still going to be happy. the joy's not going to be out of you. You're still going to have all that happiness. So, whenever you lower and get to a place where you are flexible, they want to be there. They start coming and they want to be involved. So that's a powerful thing that, especially as a blended family, we learn is lowering the expectations actually drew everybody closer. Higher expectations pushed everybody away. So just kind of let that be an encouragement. Maybe you're in that same state that once the holidays start arriving, you start getting all frantic and start getting all crazy and have these pictures in your head of what's got to take place, what has to be done. And maybe this is just a way of saying, don't stress yourself out, just enjoy the holidays. It's not really about all the stuff. It's about the relationships. Yeah. It's about being able to be together and enjoy each other's presence, whether you're doing something or you're not. And whenever you can actually get to that point, you have a lot more peace in the holidays. Everybody wants to be there, and you'll see a lot more joy in your family. So powerful stuff.
Amen to that.
So that's real expectations. Sometimes we set the bar way too high. When we can pull it back and get down to a flexible level, you'll start really enjoying it. So we just wanted to really share that as we're getting prepared for the holiday seasons. Because let's face it, they already have Christmas stuff up at Walmart. So that's crazy. Hobby Lobby, I think they had Christmas stuff up, and it is just starting
I think
October.
They start in September.
So it's what in the world? So, and I know the psychology behind it. They're trying to get you into the buying mood and stuff like that. But it's like, come on, wait at least another month.
But then it's too late.
There's going to be this is going to be part one. We've got a few more topics in the weeks to come because there are so many things that can suck the joy out of the holidays. So we really want to refocus. That way we're all enjoying our families this year in a new way, new level, having a lot of peace and having a lot of fun. So listen, we love you. We will see you on the next one.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope this episode has been a blessing and encouraged your family journey.
Make sure you stay connected with us and join our weekly Blended Family newsletter. We send an email out every Friday morning full of support and encouragement.
And when you join, we also want to give you a free gift. So go get yours today. The link is in the show notes below.
Have an amazing day. Remember to enjoy the journey with your blended family, and we'll see you on the next episode.